I'm Summer.
I'm Janice.
I'm Dee.
I'm Kevin.
And this is
Written
Written Together.
Every season, we work collaboratively to tell a different story.
Each episode of the season, one of us extends the story from where the last person left off.
The rest of us don't know what's in store, so it's an adventure for
For
everyone.
everyone.
Dee is the Chanel of the group, apparently. Way to
true.
go.
It's true. So join us for fun,
For mystery,
Creativity, but most of all,
to be delighted by stories written
Written
together.
Welcome back, friends, family, and so we are gathered together to hear the next Written Together.
Bose, wait a minute now.
I love it. Hey, shout out to the trolleys. Why not? Kill them with love.
That's right.
right.
Kill him.
Or with
Oh,
lust, since that's what we're going to be discussing today.
that's right.
On
Today's-
the docket today is the hot and sexy Dee, talking about the hot and sexy character Lust.
Get your cold
Yeah, this
showers
one's going to
ready.
get a little steamy. I feel like it's already getting a little warm in here. Like,
Oh, I'm going to disappoint you all.
meanwhile, Kevin's
That's
fanning
true.
himself over
Right,
here.
got
Like,
my
yes,
little-
we are in this
I'm ready.
headspace.
All right.
Yes, I feel like I should have my
Okay.
fan too. Like, let's
It
go.
won't be the first time for most of us women, Dee.
Oh my goodness.
Disappointments do happen when you get to be our ages. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Not my women.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right, so let's we'll do a quick recap here. Story recap. What's happened so far?
I think our human is broken, Wrath said at last. And though we'll probably all hate it, I think it may be up to us to fix him.
Esteban hesitated, but he could feel that Armand was right. I can get so much more, he thought.
Sloth can feel a new energy churning in Raoul. It's a mix of pride, wrath, envy. Even a little greed found her way into him. He slumps back, feeling defeated.
And with that, she tugged tightly on all the strings. Raoul suddenly stood taller, all traces of doubt disappearing. She drank his jealousy in, connecting to every fiber of his envious soul.
Ooh, that's my favorite when we have Kevin's voice going, the recap's so fun.
Great recap, everybody.
And without,
Okay, so,
and without further ado, I hereby present the lustful Dee.
Lusty. So, lust, a spark of desire. NSWT, no sex for Written Together.
oh. Shed a little bit of a tear for a moment.
Oh, lovely.
Dante defined lust as the disordered love for individuals. It is generally thought to be the least serious capital sin, as it is an abuse of a faculty that humans share with animals, and sins of flesh are less grievous than spiritual ones.
Huh. Okay.
Spread out and search the house. No one fucks with how we do things. No one.
Wrath sent Lust to find what was dampening the sin's ability. Lust wouldn't be surprised if there was some blessed outside force suppressing shit in this house, because the poor man doesn't ever want to get off. And who doesn't want to do that, even if it is to help you sleep? The entrapment can't be that strong, because you could feel a bit of energy when the human returned from the basement. It all dissipated when he got back to the couch, though, which was so disappointing. Lust decided to follow the spark and made their way to the basement. The basement was, as expected, dark, damp, cold, and disappointingly unwelcoming. Lust wouldn't be in a place like this normally. Well, I mean, there are times. But this time, the only reason to occupy this space is to find a solution to this tedious issue. Clinging to Wrath was practically all that Lust could do these days. Everything else fell flat. Lust never enjoyed being so wrapped up with Wrath, but they depended on them for the passion, no matter how cold it may be. It kept them from wasting away. Lust's ghostly roommates always derived their power from Lust, like branches bearing fruits from Lust's own tree. Lust for power, greed, lust for others' possession, envy, lust for food, gluttony, and so on. Lust knew their strength, however, and it was a desire for life, pleasure, and the pursuit of happiness. Unsurprisingly, it all came in a form of lust, a sin most indulgent like no other. Lust turned their thoughts from their siblings and back to the task at hand. They loved getting carried away. Perhaps there was something to unlock that dreadful mystery in the boxes within the basement. The last time Raoul came up from here, it was the faintest spark. And even a slight spark means that the lust for life is in there. Lust felt a monologue coming on and indulged in it as they playfully strutted down the growing health hazard of a staircase. I am Lust, always painted as sleazy, a bad egg with such bad intentions. A desire, a distraction, a glory that consumes a person and doesn't allow them to do anything productive in the world. Oh, but that isn't fair. That's not me. That's not how I feel. I want Raoul to live, to thrive, to free himself and see all that life has to offer, and to sink his teeth into it, ripe as a peach and filled with delightful titillations. But he just sits there. He won't even get off the couch. Raoul made his way back to the living room. The phone conversation was still hanging heavy all around him. He could feel the weight of it. He was all tied up in knots. He sat down on the couch and tried to focus on the television. The couch always brought him a comforting numbness. It was almost like he could depend on that couch to remove all of his feelings and motivation. He sighed, letting it consume him. Lust paused, swaying slightly, and judged in the motes of dust that floated through the musty basement, disturbed by the dramatic sweeps of their arms and legs as they performed their diatribe for themselves. Their unsteady pose relaxed. They turned gently on toe, as if in a ballet, like a music box dancer. They turned, expression fierce, and swung a leg forward, beginning to prowl. For a brief tense moment, they dropped to a crouch like a caged animal and studied the clutter around them, utterly still but for the saccade of their eyes. At last, Lust spotted the boxes. They eagerly lifted the cover off of one of the unpacked boxes, the one with the least dust on it, the one that had obvious signs of being the catalyst for the human spark. They could smell the ghost of warmth here. The box was marked photo albums. Looks like a good place to start. Let's see if I can rekindle that human's tiny desire for life. Lust barely moved as the pictures floated one by one slowly in front of Lust. Their focus gazed, searching for the photos that showed the greatest emotional treasures. The first one that caught their eye displayed one human kissing the Raoul human upstairs on the cheek. Boring, but a start. The smile on their human's face was one of pure elation, pride, and peace. They had a hat on their head, must have been for a graduation of some sort. Lust blew gently on the picture. It responded, animated, with a fluttering glow. Lust concentrated, able to wrestle a gossamer ribbon of light. Lust felt a surge in their grip. Bingo. Connection. Now this they can work with. Upstairs, Raoul felt a brief chill and shook it off. He sat up a bit. He just had the most vivid memory of the day he got his master's degree. God, that was a good day. Esteban was so proud. I was so happy I could do anything, everything at that moment. I wanted to rule the world and live forever. The feeling quickly faded. Raoul sighed and slumped back. Cruel memories. Blessed hell, Lust grumbled. Thought I had it. Luckily, Lust is known for nothing if not pursuit and tenacity, and dove back through the pictures. Each scene that flew past, Lust tried to connect a passion, a yearning. Photos, letters, cards, and receipts swung and danced in the air, connected loosely by faint, broken, or invisible streaks of light. Chains of expectations, ribbons of interest, yarns of practicality, threadbare strips of fond memories. All tied and shining like water on a web in the morning sun, displaying the nest of something wicked and beautiful. Such fiery flickers of possibility and restraint made Lust feel at home. Their eyes, ever hungry, were guided by several bright illuminations to one photo. Type 600 film, nostalgic, taken with the intent to remember and to crave. There is no lust quite like nostalgia. Why, look at that. A picture of a shirtless man sitting in our Raoul's lap.
I know that's right.
With rainbow confetti frozen in the air and crowds of people all around, the two men were staring at each other so intensely that Lust barely even needed to concentrate. The picture began to light up like a neon sign. At first, a flicker of bleeding light, catching and popping like a small sparkler, but then it was brighter. Brighter than Bourbon Street. Lust took it all in and smiled with sincere happiness. Here come the fireworks. Raoul shook his head with a shiver that went down his spine. I guess the dream about graduation made the memory of this pride parade come flooding back. They had been to a million of those events, but that one year was above and beyond. It was special, almost indescribably. It was a time that felt like Raoul and Esteban's. Neither had gotten to have such a moment of or for themselves. Dancing, singing, drinking, and kissing everywhere the whole weekend. Raoul had never felt so handsome, so desired, and most of all so blissfully happy in his entire life. Memories and every feeling attached cascaded into Raoul. He closed his eyes and tears welled, enjoying this feeling. He wanted to laugh and cry at the same time, and his breath caught in his throat. He let out a blissful moan, and his heart loosened, just a fraction. But it was enough. Lust smiled. They lifted their lips and hands to the picture. Taking a deep breath in, they felt themselves grow fuller and exhaled, slowly and steadily blowing life into the picture. Lust's powerful flow of desire rippled through the memory in Raoul's mind, electrifying it and relighting deadened sensations, eating away at the rotting, calcified dreams that he held in his shoulders, chest, and calves. Upstairs, Raoul felt the slack in his body tighten and loosen gently, atrophies of muscle and soul being tested and pressured. The connection was almost fully complete now. It was definitely being dampened by something. Lust had to ignore that if they were going to help the human. A curiosity for another time? Lust stood, letting the other artifacts of a lifetime flutter to the ground, sole focus on the photograph. They carefully stepped around the detritus, slowly guiding the memory around the room, trying to find the strongest connection. It looked not unlike when you see a human running around looking for more bars on their mobile phone for a stronger signal. It seemed strongest the further towards the front door and when you got closer to the backyard. But they also figured out there was a weird wobble in the corners of the house that caused strain to the connection. Lust sat where the link was the strongest and anchored themselves. The photo changed in an instant to the next moment. Raul leaning deeper in towards Esteban. And then, the next, faster. A kiss connecting, it continued and began to animate like a slow-motion movie. Lust reached their tender hands inward and gripped the insides of the frame, straining and flexing hidden muscle as they widened the image until it was larger than a doorway. And they stepped forth and went to work. They enhanced each frame, reaching hands into the memory, working it like a dexterous sculptor. They brought a shine to each brilliant second. Light flared, sound vibrated on the floorboards, and confetti twirled in the perfect light, directing the moment. Lust wrapped each moment in longing, mixing in urge, yearning, and hunger, consuming Raul's mind. Raul felt like he was in a trance, like the most powerful daydream he had ever experienced. It was so real. He felt more alive than he had in months. Was this happening? He drifted further into the past, reliving it as though it was in real time. He could feel the weight of Esteban on his lap, cheering and singing the thrumming beat that matched his heart. He could taste the Red Bull and vodka on his tongue, cheap and beautiful. Condensation dripping onto his hand and dripping onto his thigh. Sunscreen and sweat of bodies around him. He could see the passion in Esteban's eyes. He locked in on it. He locked in on all of his senses. This has to be real. He felt his body react. He wanted everything, all of it, right now. Lust reached through the earth and conjured more intensely, enchanting the scenery to connect the other one from the picture to the sensation, to lure both Raul and Esteban further and further into the memory. Even if this doesn't go as planned, Lust considered, it will certainly liven up the house.
Oh, man.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I really liked how you started off by pointing out the church's almost like, oh, lust, how cute, pat head.
Yeah.
And yet you turned it into, well, actually, lust is basically the common ingredient in everything.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really nice. Really well done.
Way to circumvent expectations.
Right? Yeah.
So true.
And also,
Yeah.
I have a very specific Iggy Pop song stuck in my head now, and it's all your fault.
You're welcome. If I can give anyone Iggy Pop any day, I feel better for it.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, Dee, your use of, I mean, everything is so beautifully descriptive,
Yeah.
where you just bring everything to life and really make it magical. And the fact that Lust took these memories and amplified them, it's such a human experience that we do too, where we have this memory and we don't always hear like the bad things or like, it's never as vibrant in real life as it is in our own minds. So when we go back to a memory and Lust is, amplifying it to be this amazingly vibrant thing, it's like, wow. I think of the memories, I go back where it's like, oh, this was so magical. And then if I actually could go back, it would be like, wow, it wasn't really, Right? all that sparkle and rainbow, But, memory is a powerful thing. And the fact that Lust taps into that for him so that he can get this vibrancy for life is so, I mean, there are no words for me for that. That is just so dynamic.
Thank you. I loved the nostalgia is the epitome of lust, the way you worked that, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I
Agreed.
disappointed you all, and there wasn't like
Oh my gosh,
I
no.
remember like being chosen for this, and I was like, oh God, so many. The other people would do this justice. I want to write
No,
about
I
sex.
think
Oh,
I
no, no,
think
no.
you more than did it justice because all of us were thinking in this basic animalistic level.
Right?
It
Yeah.
says something about me. I don't know about everybody else, but I know it says something about me that I would have written it in a particular way. But you wrote it with so much more complexity
Yes.
than I would have imagined to write it. That not only did you enhance how we saw lust, because how lust comes across it with everyone else in the previous chapters, in the previous episodes, but now we have this level to him or them that allows us to see more in depth, and then how they interact with Raoul and how Raoul is able to enhance himself through that. It did all the things.
Yeah,
It did
absolutely.
all the things it needed to do. It gave so much complexity to this part of the story.
So I
This was great.
definitely feel like sloth and envy helped spark whatever connections could be made, and I'm very interested how people will take the weakening of whatever's happening.
Yes.
For whatever
I
makes.
loved that where it was like the fight for the muscle control. Like it was like envy's threads were in direct conflict to what lust was doing. Man, I loved that. I was like, yes.
Yeah,
Like
I was thinking
like,
about that.
who's gonna break that? Yeah.
Envy
Ugh.
definitely had a direction that they were trying to work in, and now lust is working in in a very different direction. Yeah, that was and the way that you illustrated that conflict without calling it out, but still nodded to it with with the tension in his body. That was really good.
And then there's Sloth, who apparently has the couch.
Right.
Like for me,
Right,
I
yeah.
feel like even though Sloth is disappointed in himself, obviously from previous, summers, like, oh, it didn't work. Clearly that couch is what.
Yeah.
That's
I
their
love
domain
that
now.
because it was kind of like, okay, yes, come to me. Like I am on the couch. I will help you be more slothful. And I could totally relate to that because
Yeah,
my couch is that place. I can't work on my couch. I sit there
I
and
call
I'm
it the
done. Like, the brain
demotivator.
just, yes. Nice.
When
I like that.
Summer, when you were first reading about sloth and describing sloth like wrapping around Raoul, that put into my head the Depression Kitty from Big Mouth. Did you all watch Big Mouth?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh, okay. Never mind then.
But now I have to look it
Yeah,
up because, now I'm
clearly.
curious. So you guys can continue
Yeah.
talking. I will look up Depression Kitty.
Oh, the depression that immediately reminded me of the Depression Kitty, and then that being reinforced by this story where sitting on the couch and just feeling getting almost enveloped by the couch. It's yes, there you go, the Depression Kitty. Yeah, where
For those who can't see, please look up Depression Kitty. This is the most fantastic. It's almost like if Ursula was a cat from,
yes,
from
exactly.
the Disney movies.
Yeah,
That is
but
just, look at that.
and
That's
it's
just
very much the
all-time
same
great.
kind of feeling because in that when she's getting depressed and that depression is being encouraged by the Depression Kitty, but with that like enveloping her and cooing with that soft droning voice,
Mm.
it's very sad. Like I cried when I watched those episodes on a cartoon.
Yeah.
And Summer, your sloth episode made me have those exact same feels when he was like enveloped by sloth and being lulled to like, don't even think about it, just go to sleep. Like that's
Yeah.
all you can do right now. And again, on the couch, when you said like he sits on the couch and then his mind is done. He's just wallowing at this point, basically.
Yeah.
And it's very, very sad. I'm gonna cry.
I know. I'm like, this is okay. we're having a down moment. It's fine. But I
I'm
think
not
the
crying,
other
you're
thing, yes,
crying.
save your eyes. Those stupid onions, those are in the corner. God, someone take this bowl of onions out of here.
Right.
But I was near tears with a lot of the things that were happening, that and especially the beautiful moments that were being conjured back up for him when he was being so overwhelmed. And one of the first moments was when he was getting a master's degree. And I love that because it was the putting of self-love first, of that being the priority first for him to get that glimmer
Giggity.
before the rest of the love around him or the rest of that lust for life around him could be amplified. So that needed to come first in order for him to have access. And I mean in order for Raoul to have access to the rest of that emotion for himself, to be open to that, is that for him to feel how he felt about himself first, how he was proud about him. And so that I got all teary-eyed in that moment. You can't really see it because, you know, you're
Because of the
because the
Botox.
glasses
We
are in the
know.
way. Oh, it's terrible.
It might be about time to start adding in secondary influences with these main stories, because with that particular scene of the masters, I could feel pride there. I could feel pride, like, kind of in the corner going, "I'm so close. I'm almost there. My fingers are like right over your head."
Yeah.
I also have to give a shout out for the moving photographs and the little, I don't know if it was intentional, but all I could picture was Harry Potter. And I was like, yes!
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
you know
it's
my
great.
connection with fireworks, and I just kept trying to put light into it, like
Yeah.
it's like you're hovering over sparklers,
it-
like
Yeah. It's that wonder,
Mhm.
it's that childish wonder, that pure part, that clean part of us that loves to see something like that, that makes it, just glow. And you did that, man. You did that, girl. You did that.
It was funny because I was afraid to. I went a bunch further, and then I was like, no. Now everything I'm putting after this, I don't like it. So I just stopped it where I
Yeah.
stopped it, and I was like, goodbye.
No, but
That's really good. Self-editing is a skill many people lack, myself
yeah,
included.
it's
You know, just like
hard.
Chanel, before you leave, take off one thing.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Yes,
D is the Chanel of the
yeah,
group, apparently. Way
it's
to go.
true. It's true. Yeah, because then it was like, okay, this isn't really leading anywhere. So this is the story that you were meant to tell. And boy, did you tell a story,
Yeah.
man.
Seriously.
But no sex.
That's
No sex
great.
for you.
No, that's okay. Oh, stop.
All right, so should we spin the wheels of
Yes.
randomness
Man,
and
I am so
see?
excited about the next iteration because leaving it there, it's like, boy, the endless possibilities for what's going to happen.
Yeah, I do not envy which one of the three of you will be doing the next story.
Oh,
I
wait,
know,
hold
right?
up.
Because of the person that
I
spins the
think
wheel clearly doesn't get chosen.
I know. Yeah, Mr. Boop and Boop.
Whatever.
That's not fair.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Come
Yeah.
on, Kevin Smith. Come on. Come on. Putting the
Boop
juju out. Come
and
on.
boop. Wheel spin, spin, spins, wheels. All right, so
Theodore's in it.
pride.
Let's see your screen. That way we can see what the actual results are. Because, he could be like, yeah, it's not me at all. Like, what?
Wow, I am shocked and appalled that you don't trust me.
Waves fan.
As the fan gets, shaded out.
So pride and Kevin.
Yay! Oh my
At last.
All
And
your
that
dreams
is-
have come true.
God. I think there should be like triumphant music here. Can we put a
You have like
triumphant music?
Gabriel's trumpet. That should be absolutely happening.
I cannot imagine a more perfect person to follow up this story. Like, pride is exactly what we need right now.
Oh man, yeah. The Deadlies is
Yeah.
perfect, especially
Especially
yeah,
since,
I agree
the
with you,
picture
Sam.
was at Pride. I mean.
Right? I mean, who knows about Red Bull and vodka more than moi?
Excellent segue.
For those of you who can't see the video, when Dee read Red Bull and vodka, all of us pointed at Kevin.
It's true. We all looked at him. It's true. No judgment. Just,
Just acknowledging facts. Facts are facts.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Oh, I
Great.
am excited. It's about time.
Well, now that means we also have to finally figure out who's going to ask me questions.
I think
Um,
the three of us need to meet together and decide on our questions.
There you go. The three of you have a little
And-
confab and talk amongst
then-
yourselves.
Attack! No, I'm
All the-
kidding.
All the Klimt.
Give
I'll
him the
give you a
hardest
topic.
questions a writer could have. Tell me about your childhood.
Oh my god. All right.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would never. I'm not Oprah.
Cool.
Forget that.
Great. Well, that sounds great. Do we have any other housekeeping besides? I mean, not besides. Do we have any housekeeping before we
No.
leave?
No, congratulations, Dee. You did a great,
Yes,
great
congratulations,
Thank you
Dee. That was
for-
really good.
This is going to be an ex.
I mean, I have people that are feeding it, basically. I have 3 other amazing people who feed all of this creativity. So,
Well, 2 because I haven't done anything. So.
no,
It's true.
No, you did.
I mean,
your
Mr. Interstitial, you
interstitial,
helped.
which
You did help.
definitely has driven all of our stuff. So,
Yeah, it's
Okay,
become
sure.
part of
All
a
right.
great subplot.
Exactly.
There
Are
you
you
go.
kidding?
No, this is Shake and Bake, and I helped. For us, those younger viewers or listeners, that's a commercial reference that you won't get. But that's fine.
No, you can Google that too. I'm sure it's on YouTube
You can Google
somewhere.
it. Ask your grandparents; they'll know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Grandparents.
mean. Oh, yeah, that burns us.
Ask the grandparents here, not me.
Oh, that's true. The one
Perfect.
yeah.
It's also scary.
Yeah, it is kind of scary. So we're gonna cut all that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Great. Thanks, everybody. With that, I guess we declare the match extinguished.
Woo.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
I said bye. I said.
Background music and sound effects courtesy of Zapsplat. Check him out at zapsplat.com. If you'd like to know more about Written Together and the stories we've told, visit us at writtentogether.com.